will just preface this by saying I know how absurd it is to ask you to tell your life story in 2 minutes, but I need you to tell your life stories in 2 minutes.
Is it still morning? Good morning, everybody. My name is Troy Dobbins, and I'm from Chicago, and I'm representing Clio right now. Just a quick overview of my life. When I was younger, I didn't really have like a big gang distraction or like a drug addiction or anything. I was extremely violent. Every day, in elementary school, I would fight. I was smart, but I would fight. And from all of my teachers, I would just get in like just mad disrespect, like, Troy, you're not gonna do well. I'm surprised you're in school. Why aren't you suspended again, right? And that was just constant for me. And then my school closed, and I had to go to school on the other side of the city. And man, I was fighting on the west side, but I was really fighting on the east side. So it just got worse and worse until I guess it kind of escalated, and I joined a gang. I'm not gonna disclose what gang in particular, but I was bad. I was a bad kid, and finally one of the gang leaders, kind of pulled me to the side, and was like, Troy, why you never in school? Junior, why you never in school? And I'm like, I want to be like you. I want to be around you. I want to protect you, because to an extent that's all I really had. And he was just like, nah, you going to school. You can come hang out with us later. So I started going to school. I was still fighting, but, every time I would fight, he would punish me, So it was like, all right, now I got to get to school and do what I had to do. I was smart, but, like I said, I was violent. So I finally grabbed on to my next door neighbor, Tobias, and Tobias was just like, why don't you come play basketball? Why don't you come to church with me? Why don't you hang out or whatever? And I'm like, okay, right? I don't have anything else to do. So I did that, and through that, I met this guy, Tory Barrett. And Tory was just like, hey, why don't you come hang out? Hey, what are your grades? Or, this, that, and the other. And like I said, I was smart. I was an A/B student, but I was violent. So, I was rarely in school. So high school came. Instead of going to like a traditional school, I went to a military school for discipline or whatever. And Tory heard about that, and he was just like, okay, well, you got good grades, so, I'm going to keep you around me. Why don't you join the Youth for Christ? So I got involved in the Youth for Christ, and that was fun. I went on. Tory just kind of took me under his wing. I know I'm kind of referencing him a lot, but, it's the truth. He's like, man, you're smart. Why don't you come on this college tour? Well, Tory, I don't have the money for it. I didn't ask you for money. Come on the college tour anyway. So, I went on college tours. I went to trips. Anytime I was hungry, it was Pizza King right around the corner, or McDonald's. Then he had a kid. I'm like, oh, man, he got a kid. He's not going to show me no love no more. But then he was like, well, come babysit my kids. And, and it was just like continuous love. It was just love on top of love. And then, I got back to the neighborhood real heavy, and the gang leaders was just like, all right, Troy, I know what you're doing now. I still see you around, but, you can't hang around us unless you got a book with you, And for me, I know I kind of skipped over this, but I had a big challenge with, not dementia, dyslexia. And I was real good with numbers, but I could barely read. I have no idea how I made it through elementary school. But they didn't catch it till like my sophomore year of high school, and it was just crazy. And I never really liked to read, and I always got around it. But I always saw Toy reading. Whether it was in his office, he always had like a huge library in his house, and I was, it was new to me because my parents didn't do that. So I started reading with Big Sweet on the corner, right? And it evolved to me reading at school. It evolved to me reading at church. And I became this avid reader, right? And it just progressed, like, and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And toward started, I was getting smarter and smarter. And he just kept pushing me to continue. And then finally, ACT came around, and I did okay. I told Tori what I did. He's like, that's all? And I'm like, man, it's pretty good. I did better than a lot of my classmates. He's like, nah, go do it again. And I did it again, and I did extremely well, right? And I was getting offers from all over the world, and I had to take a sacrifice for my family because I was one of the main providers for my mom and my grandma, whatever. So I did that. Tori was kind of hurt by that because he know how much work I put into it, and he just supported me even through that. So now I work with Tori like I'm like his right foot or whatever, and that's what I do. And I just want to thank Tori and even my community for helping me get through all the challenges I faced. And I want to thank you all for even want to be participants in finding a better solution for kids like us, and it starts here. So thank you.